Multiplying in standard form, we're going to look at how we can multiply in standard form. And there is a rule we use to multiply in standard form, and the rule says, so if you have a question, one standard form multiplying the other, all you do is you multiply the a's. So in this question, this is the a and that is the a. So you multiply that times, and then what you do is the powers, you add them. You add m to n, and that is the rule. Let's have a look at one example. We have 3 times 10 raised to the power 4 times 2 times 10 raised to the power 5. So using the rule, it means that we first of all have to multiply 3 and 2. So 3 times 2 gives you 6 times, we have 10 here, we have 10 here, so 10, and then we add the powers. So 4 plus 5, and we end up getting 6 times 10 raised to the power 9. So that is what the rule says when it comes to multiplying in standard form. Let's have a look at another example. 9 times 10 raised to the power 6 times 3 times 10 raised to the power 2. And so if you look at the second example, we follow the same rule. 9 times 3 gives us 27. And we're going to look at 27 again, times 10. If it's times, then we add the powers. So we add 6 and 2. And that will end up giving us 27 times 10 raised to the power 8. But remember, in standard form, our a, it should be between 1 and 10. And so if this obviously is more than 10, and so we cannot leave it this way, we're going to have to make sure we write this in a way that is between 1 and 10. And how do we do that? This is a whole number, and so it means that our decimal point is at the end of the number, and we have to move it once, and we're moving it to the left side. That means we have to add another 1 to this, making 9. So we get 2.7 times 10 raised to the power 9. So that's one little trick about multiplying in standard form. Once you follow the rule and you follow the format, is very easy to get your answer. Looking at some more examples of multiplying in standard form. So using the same rule, 6.5 is going to multiply 4. So 6.5 times 4. We're going to have to times this, and then times 10 would add 2. So the power here is going to add to the power here, making 5. 6.5 times 4 would give you 26 times 10 raised to the power 5. Remember, in standard form, this, if you look at the formatting of standard form, 26 is for a, and remember, a should be a number between 1 and 10, or it should be a decimal, and obviously 26 is more than 10, so it means that we're going to have to write it in a way that will satisfy a. So how do we write this? We're going to have to move the decimal point from here to between 6 and 2. And so moving that, since we move to the left side, it means we're going to have to add another 1 to the power there. So we get 2.6 times 10 raised to the power 6. Let's look at the last example. We follow the same rule by multiplying 8 and 5. So 8 and 5 gives you 40 times 10, and then we have to add these two numbers, 5 and minus 3. So 5 plus minus 3. Remember, positive and negative, 5 plus minus 3 is the same as 5 minus 3. So we get 40 times 5 minus 3, because positive and negative gives you negative. And that would end up giving us 40 times 10 raised to the power 2. In standard form, we cannot leave our answer in the form 40 times 10 raised to the power 2. So we're going to have to make sure A is not more than 10. And how do you make sure A is not more than 10? Is by moving the 0 at the end of the whole number between 4 and 0. So if you move that between 4 and 0, that is going to give you 4.0, or you can write 4. And since we're moving that to the left side, we need to add another 1 to the power here, making 3. So we end up getting 4 times 10 raised to the power 3.